The Netflix Jojo problem!
So now we've got confirmation that Steel Ball Run's first episode will be 47 minutes long. A new trailer that was shown in what looks to be part of the Sushi Hero collab.
Nice!
As well as finally hearing the English dub of the trailer.
While on horseback!
Life, horses have been by my side.
I love the dub already.
Let's see what happens.
Man, I wanna have these teeth.
Cold technique, you troglodytes. Beat them at their home game.
Hero to the whole world.
Look about it, taking me all the way!
I think it's good. I like it.
But the thing is, there's still no confirmation
But I think people won't like it. I don't know why.
of a release schedule. So it got me thinking about that question once again. Will it have a batch release? Now, fans weren't happy about how Part 6 released, and have been crying out to go back to that weekly release schedule, which some people still think that it might happen. As many of you
Wait, they're gonna release 12 episodes at the same time?
told me that Netflix
I don't like that. I prefer weekly.
does release shows weekly, and most importantly, anime weekly. But after doing some research, I found that the anime mentioned are not actually Netflix exclusive. Netflix instead has only bought the rights to broadcast them on their
I
platform.
don't care about anime tradition. Like, we want to watch like every week because you have a feeling.
This is different for Steel Ball Run.
But I don't watch anything every week. I'm saying that, but I always wait.
But before I get into that, why are these batches so bad for fans? Well, back in the day, we had a thing called Jojo Friday, where before the weekend, the latest episode of Jojo was released. And social media, because of this, blew up with everything about that one episode.
Yeah,
Everyone
that's the thing. That's yeah.
discussing and speculating in real time, and this sort of built this community hype over the months of releases.
Yes, I wanna cry all day waiting for Jojo. Like, oh my god, when I'm gonna see Jojo? I'm never gonna see Jojo again. And then I see Jojo again, and I start crying. I start kissing every dog in the streets.
Seeing all the cool moments that were and were not animated, people sharing panels they liked, character moments that were changed, and overall it just gave us time to digest each episode individually. But with batches, all the episodes drop at once.
Yeah, let's talk about the 12 episodes, Laura. Now it's like 12 episode discussion.
This type of binge watching, and so it created a stronger short-term discussion. And while it was great to get it all at once, it was much harder to discuss, as well as being way harder to avoid spoilers, as people started to post about it the moment they watched
Yeah,
it
the
all.
problem is I watch episode 1 and everybody's showing the
If
episode
you were
12.
late to watch it that month it
I don't
came
think
out,
it matters that much because Jojo is so crazy.
and you weren't spoiled, of course, when you eventually got there, everyone had left. All those posts that you would have been seeing the month it came out have literally all dried up. I mean, you can go back and look at maybe something like Reddit or Twitter, but
I never read anything like that. I only like my opinion, and I don't care if my opinion is wrong. I don't want to hear anybody's opinion but mine.
because
I'm very narcissistic with my opinion.
of how, algorithms work now, you're not going to be able to organically find that stuff. And yes, Netflix does release anime weekly, but like I mentioned at the start, these are only anime that they have bought the rights to broadcast on their platform. But what it looks like to the average viewer is that they're actually producing them. Even going so far to release a trailer and basically branding them as Netflix exclusive. But then we look, and over in Japan, it's still going on the usual networks. And I mean, we have no way of knowing.
But did the Netflix make the anime? Or it wasn't like it's nothing about Netflix. It's only another thing, and Netflix only bought the rights for
As
it.
it's usually out at the same time on Japanese channels and Netflix.
Oh my god, this guy's working. This is the real true heroes behind anime.
So you're not usually seeing a
This is
fan
Paranoia Agents. I know this anime.
of it on the original broadcast online, as it's all there ready to go. But for Stone Ocean and Steel Ball Run, they not only have the rights to broadcast on Netflix, but are funded by them too. And I actually have some insider info as an animator, as there's actually sometimes some influence on the shows from the execs at these big companies that fund animation
Always
projects.
the execs. Always the big company. It's not like it's never a wizard. It's never a strong warlock. Never.
Like this. Now, I'm not going to disclose which companies or what animation, but to say simply, some feedback was given to them from said company, and this did change the direction of the production. Now, I don't know how much studio heads can fight back against this, but Jojo is a pretty well-established franchise already, and they have been doing well with the anime, so it's not likely to happen. But Yasuko Kobayashi,
I don't know why they worry so much, like the Netflix production and everything. Like everybody's gonna watch it. You don't need to go like I need to put all the episodes right now because people will forget about Jojo. Man, this story is like 30 years old. People care about that.
and the rest of the writing team
Until today, so don't like people still care about it. Don't worry about it.
might be given
Like release it weekly. People don't care.
some feedback with the
They're
making
gonna
of
watch it. It's a great anime.
And this expands to sort of a bigger point about the anime, as the structure of a season can be heavily influenced by its format and medium. So this is where the writing and structure team come in. But there's not much info on these guys, as it's not really a super exciting job to the average anime fan. But they're
Oh my god, this is the average anime fan. To be honest, this is what I'm gonna look like when I'm young. Like when I become so young that I'm like 5 years old, I'm gonna look like this.
a massive part, and it's kind of
Oh my god, this guy's like a hero for everybody.
why we might be seeing a lot of this missing stuff from the trailers, as we can see that they're changing a lot about the anime from the interviews they've done. Now, I mentioned this in the last video, but while not outright saying they'll be cutting scenes, they will be taking a different approach to the start. As director Kimura states, approaching this as the newest Jojo anime season, we realized that the early chapters would need restructuring. Now that we're actually working on it,
Restructuring, don't change.
the story composition, while quite a challenge, we have to reproduce the same exhilaration the original gave readers, so we can't change it too drastically. So
You can't change it to drastic. Oh, what the fuck? I hate this. I have to say this. I hate this. Those guys, they always want to change. Let's change the Witcher because the books are so different. So we need to change for the visual people who are gonna watch it. And then it's a fucking trash. You change everything about the story and everybody hates it because you know I want to change it because I know more than the author knows about his story. The same thing they did with Game of Thrones, and they shouldn't do this with Jojo, and I don't think they're gonna change because it's impossible to change really.
on
Like
Netflix,
you can't write another Jojo story without the Jojo author. Like only he can write his story.
idea,
It's so different and eccentric.
the first stage of the 11 or 12 chapters.
Wait, it's the
so whether
biggest?
Kimura or Netflix's idea to put
What? Oh, nice! It's the biggest part. Look at this.
the
I think
first
the third part is bigger.
stage of the 11 or 12 chapters into one 47-minute episode
Nice.
is kind of hard to say. But I'm expecting it to have a better flow due to this, as setting up all the races and event rules about the world needs to feel fast-paced. And from what we know from the other interviews, they're even enhancing some character scenes. As Kimura then goes on to say, I think Poco Loco comes across stronger than in the manga. Screenwriter Yasuko Kobayashi seems to like him. He's getting quite a few moments, and I think he's quite an easy character to work with.
Okay, this is okay. This is not like changing the plot very much.
So that might not mean more screen time, but due to music choice, voice
Like
acting,
if a
and
character is cool, I don't know anything about JoJo 7. I didn't read the manga, so I don't know anything. But the character is cool. Yeah, you can put him more. and
Writing
everything.
style,
You
they-
can change things, but don't change too much. Like preserve our great author.
could give him, as well as the other races that have a smaller overall part in the story, some much needed personality. I mean, they've shown that they can improve the manga in subtle and meaningful ways. Like Emporio at the start of Stone Ocean, sort of making the stuff with his mother have more of an impact later on. These little touches add a lot of polish and personality to each adaptation. I mean, a better overall example is how tight those first 3 episodes are with
But I have to
Jonathan and
say
Dia's
this.
relationships.
I think the adaptation will be great. I think it's gonna be great.
So I don't
think they're gonna fuck this up. I don't think they're gonna do it badly.
think Kobayashi-san's writing is really affected by Netflix, but what is, and you might be able to already notice it on screen, is how the animation is affected. Yes, so Emporio should have a logo here,
The
and
guy inside the piano.
they do add that back in. But it's not just Netflix, as we can see this when Crunchyroll broadcasted part 3.
Boingo!
Bongo Mondata.
A lot going on
Boingo, the name, the translation.
with a production. So on a main character like this, it's a lot of work to keep track of stuff like this. So these companies, similar to Viz with the stuff on the English side, not wanting to use iconography or using the reference names in the subtitles and as we can see,
Oh, I
even
hate this. I don't know if this is something about
on
rights.
screen. But when the
I don't know what the problem is, but I hate this. They changed the name of the stands. Fuck that.
Japanese actors say it, I guess it's fine, which makes the change of the hat so odd. If you're wondering what this website is, a member of the community, Dewang Boy, a while ago made this GitHub page, and this is just so cool to see the differences between them, as myself and Val have been going through every season, looking at the differences between the Blu-rays and the TV releases. But when it came to looking at the rest of the changes for part 6, in those Blu-rays we can see that they don't really change that much.
In this lighting, it looks like the
Strange. It's to just change. I don't know if this G is very
Black
important.
pastel colors.
And
But
yeah,
why?
this kind of really sucks, as we had these changes up till every part of Jojo, as when you get to part 6, it seems to be a direct cause by this Netflix distribution, as even after the Blu-rays come out, shots that clearly need fixing are left untouched. Oh, what is
Yeah, I think there's a lot of shots there need to be fixed.
His big ears and his big hat.
Because it's actually the fans that have sort of taken up that mantle of fixing some of the anime shots. But then, what is the reason we didn't get these changes? Well, I guess I'll talk a little bit about the production structure. So we'll start with weekly. Weekly anime is usually produced just in time, meaning episodes are complete super close to their initial air date, sometimes even the day of the broadcast. Staff work on different episodes
So that's
simultaneously.
sad. People are just like crazy, high on cocaine, doing things. It's very hard.
But in staggered stages. One team could be storyboarding, say, episode 5, while another animates episode 3. And because of this, studios are usually under intense time crunch. And this often leads to quality fluctuations between episodes.
This is my favorite episode from Dragon Ball Super. I love how bad it's made. I love bad animation. I love Naruto versus Pain.
Reliance on outsourcing, or the occasional recap episode or delay when a schedule collapses in on itself. And so batches seem like a way better option for these animators. Or it does in theory. You see, a batch would mean the entire season or batch would be completed before release. Still episodic production, but staff usually have more time per episode, since there's no strict weekly air date. Deadlines exist, but
So maybe this is good. I was complaining, but now I think I'm changing my mind, because if they have more time, it's better for the quality.
final delivery is in that full batch. So this would allow more polish, consistent quality, and if you're lucky, longer pre-production, and less reliance on fixing episodes later for those Blu-ray releases, since they're finalized way ahead of
But we
schedule.
all know this is for now. Like 10 years from now, every anime will be made by AI, so doesn't
Anyway.
change it much.
And that's why batches are better for Jojo. But obviously we know this isn't the case. Now there's two things going on here. I think, and this is speculation, it's a set budget compared to a more flexible TV release. A lot of these anime commissioned are 3D, which once you have the models, it's a lot easier to keep a consistent style. So that means less revisions are needed, meaning less time is taken to create an episode, as these 2D shows are less consistent in that aspect. And because they have been given more money up front for a lot of episodes all at once, and again this part is speculation, it would be considered under budgeted.
Let's give them a lot of money. Netflix has more money than every other company, streaming company. Give them a lot of money. Give them gold bars.
A studio might have gone too ambitious, and so have planned out all these shots, but may not have the time or talent to make up how complex some of these scenes are. So why take a deal like this? Well,
Oh man, this is the Netflix executives.
in short, it gives these animators a lot more time to breathe. I mean, part 7 after the teaser didn't have a proper release date when its trailer came out. So in theory, as a studio head, it gives you a lot more room to adjust things. Why wouldn't you want to give your team as much time as possible, even if it is on a smaller budget? But again, that's
I'm trying to imitate them. Those
in
characters.
theory, as it was data mined that the release date, even back then, was March 19th. So I don't know what deal David Production or Warner Bros struck with Netflix, but they seem to be happy with it, as this is their third time working with them. Yeah, the third. Now the second thing that's going on here is that pressure...
Yeah, also putting it on Netflix, it helps a lot to distribute a thing.
creates great stuff. I don't know why, but these weekly anime schedules seem to bring out something in these animators. Now, in no way am I advocating this for within studios. I think the work hours, back pain, and carpal tunnel for these men and women just don't add up to the amount of pay given. So if you're an animator, you truly are doing it out of the love and passion of the craft. But with that said, in the right hands, all of this makes great stuff in a timely manner. I might be romanticizing this, but the people that worked on part 1 to 3, I mean, what an amazing team. From what I've seen and heard
I
about
think the best part is 5. I think it's so well done.
that initial season's production is near amazing with
Like
the
the
level
best production, I think it's part 5.
of craftsmanship that went into it. I mean, the fact that we got to part 7 is crazy. And I'm not throwing shade, but to examine the differences in these core drawings, there might be a reason why we're getting such a difference in quality. And that's because of its source material, as the Jojo manga is fairly high in terms of quality. But Steel Ball Run and the parts beyond include a massive increase, as when the series changed from weekly to monthly, while fans had to wait longer for each chapter, every new release featured cleaner art and way better writing than the majority of the weekly chapters did.
Wanna wanna watch it so much. I don't care about batch. I don't care about anything. I wanna watch so much this.
Now, this is a problem for the Steel Ball Run anime, because as it steps into a more
I'm gonna be honest right now. I don't fucking care how it's released. I'm gonna contradict myself completely right now, but I don't fucking care. I just wanna watch it because I love Jojo so much. I wanna watch part 7 so much. I love Jojo. Jojo is one of my favorite anime of all time, and I'm so excited to watch
it also gains a curse that has plagued the adaptations of some of the best series ever made. And the reason mainly boils down to the designs are just way too complicated for 2D, as it adds hours of extra time to draw these small details on these characters. But the studio not wanting to compromise on the amount of lines that make up a drawing, so as we see these more simple designs in part 1, as it's gone on, we see these designs return to the more detailed ones as seen in the manga. And this is why I was content with these simple 2D designs, as it's a massive task.
I don't care about the simple. I like simple.
To take on some of the details of these later designs. But then we got the 3D stuff, and it ended up being the drawbacks of both sides. Like, I'm not even saying the 3D is bad. If you want to see how good David Productions 3D is, we can just look at that last show they made for Netflix, as that second Netflix-funded David Production anime was Spring Ant, where the show was in 3D.
I don't think that JoJo Part 6 3D is bad. I don't think it is bad. It didn't bother me at all.
Good 3D.
But there's some, oh man, there's some CGI out there. They're just like blasphemy. Like, it's just like painful. It's like being hurt by a lot of crows, being eaten alive by crows. So bad it is.
And they have good 2D. Something else is missing here, and it's down not just to the part being too complicated and long, but it's the people that are making it, as David Production is sort of a ship of Theseus type studio, as the people that made part 1 are not all the same that are making part 7, and Netflix don't really have anything to do with that. So really, to get a little bit more deep into that, I'd like to make a full video on the making of the anime, because there's a lot of cool stuff that no one's really looked at yet. But for now, if you want to see more of how the anime...
I want to watch this, Jojo TV vs Blu-ray. Oh my god, those videos are great. I want to watch more.